Some in the zoo, I got sign in the shoebox. I can with my mood, tell me sign that wake up, wake up, wake up.
78 Sports TV here. Shout out to the LDBC, Lions Den boxing community. For those who don't know, now you know. Make sure you guys go and check out the Smoke City Mobcast, the Smoke City Mobcast, right here on YouTube every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, is where the LDBC gathers once a week to discuss the current state of boxing. Also, go sign up to www.ldbcsports.com. It's free. And download the free LDBC app available on Android and Apple phones, okay? So, salute to the Patreon family. You know, much love to everybody who signed up to my Patreon. A link to that is in the description box underneath this video. We having some great conversations over there talking about real life issues, grown man shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's what it do. So today, let's talk a little boxing. The WBC will have their convention, okay? They're going to have a convention this weekend, and at that convention, each weight class will be discussed. And they will determine what they're going to do with the Sean Porter situation at welterweight that we're all concerned about. We know that the WBC announced prior to Sean Porter fighting Danny Garcia, they announced that the winner of that fight would have 2 mandatories. So I guess they're going to discuss that and see if Earl Spence and Sean Porter will be allowed to fight. And I guess we'll know the answer to those questions for sure next week, okay? Sometime next week. And also at that convention, they're going to be discussing the middleweight division, which is Canelo Alvarez, the newly crowned WBA and WBC middleweight champion by defeating Gennady Golovkin. His mandatory is the interim WBC champion, Jamal Charlo. We're all clamoring for that fight. And the WBC is going to, they said that they're going to, after the convention, Canelo versus Charlo will be clarified. So that's an interesting, you know, phrase, an interesting word they use, clarified. I want to know what the fuck they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if the WBC does not enforce, you know, if they go back on their word, they're not gonna be taken seriously. You know what I mean? You can't be wishy-washy. I know the WBC have done they did a big campaign to get back in Canelo Alvarez's good graces, because Canelo Alvarez was on some fuck the WBC shit when the WBC forced him to fight Gennady Golovkin, and Canelo dropped his belt because he didn't want to fight Golovkin at that time. So Canelo was like, fuck the WBC. He was mad at him because they tried to force him to do something he didn't want to do yet. So they went on a campaign to get back in Canelo's good graces. And, you know, they defended him with the drug allegations and stuff like that. When he failed the drug test, they defended him. They keep creating these belts and doing all this stuff, trying to, you know, kiss Canelo ass and stuff. So I don't know if they're going to enforce this Charlo fight. You know, I gotta see what the WBC is going to do. But, you know, I'm going to keep my hopes up. I'm going to hope that, you know, they enforce their ruling to make Canelo fight Charlo. And I'm okay with the fight happening next year, like, you know, May, you know, Cinco de Mayo or something next year. I think that's cool. You know, if they're going to let Canelo fight somebody in December and then fight Charlo in May, I'm cool with that. If it's Charlo first in December, I'm cool with that too. Whatever, you know, whatever it is, you know, I'm cool with it. But anyway, the main issue today that I want to talk about, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. His team, Shelly Finkel, have responded to Eddie Hearn's constant little bullshit narrative he pushing out there. And boxing scene's headline here is Wilder's team have no desire for a new meeting with Joshua, right? To discuss the Joshua deal, okay? Now, this is what I told y'all. Like, listen, Wilder's, he's fed up with the shit, okay? He's fed up, right? The man spent months trying to negotiate a fight with Anthony Joshua. He asked for what he was worth. They said no. He was willing to renegotiate with him. They said no. He gave you his terms. AJ and Eddie Hearn pretended like they agreed, and then they behind the scenes didn't agree. A bunch of bullshit, man. AJ said he wanted $50 million. Wilder went and found $50 million for the guy. He still turned the fight down. So at that moment, Wilder's team was like, look, fuck it, man. Okay, I want this fight so bad. We're going to take this flat rate of $15 million. All right? We're going to just take the flat rate of $15 million. We're going to go over to the UK. But Wilder thought that he was going to get a rematch. Right? He's going to get a rematch. If he lose, he get to enforce a rematch. They took that clause out of the contract. Right? And then it didn't even have no date on it. Right? Because remember, Eddie Hearn said that September wasn't available for AJ versus Wilder. But it's only available for AJ versus Povetkin. Right? So when all this shit going on, Wilder said, man, fuck, I'm done with this shit. This is ridiculous. Right? I'm finna move on with my career. I'm finna fight somebody bigger and badder, which is Tyson Fury, who's a lineal champion. Never been defeated. Okay? Never lost his belts in the ring. That's just a fact. You can say whatever you want to say about Tyson Fury. The man never lost his belts in the ring. So Wilder's fighting Tyson Fury, and to my knowledge, he has the potential to have a 2-fight deal with Tyson Fury. Okay? If Wilder versus Fury does well, it's a good fight. People liked it. You know, it's just some drama involved. Hey, they can do it again, right? They got no desire to sit down and go through this shenanigans again with Eddie Hearn. Shelly Finkel says, listen, they already know what we want, right? I'm not finna waste my time talking to these dudes sitting down again. You already know what we want. So when you make a real offer, when you're ready to make a real offer, then we can have a fight. This is the fault of Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn and Anthony Joshua. If they want the Wilder fight, which they don't, but if they wanted the Wilder fight, okay, they could have made this fight happen. Y'all was getting the fight for a steal, $15 million. You was getting it for a steal, and you still couldn't resist putting a couple of more, you know, screw jobs in there. You know, let me take this out the contract. Let me do this. Let me do that. You just couldn't resist the urge to be a scumbag. And that's why the fight didn't happen. Right? So instead of Wilder letting this shit bother him and being all stressed out, he's moved on with his career. And I'm happy. Me personally, I'm happy that he's moved on. Because I'm tired of arguing about AJ and Hearn and Barry Hearn and all the fuck shit they got going on. I'm glad Deontay Wilder said later for them dudes. He moved on. Excellent. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm sure AJ and Wilder might fight one day. You know, I'm sure. But right now, ain't nobody got time for it. AJ don't want to fight. He don't want to fight. We ain't finna bully the dude and chase him around and make him fight. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to fight. He just wants the public to think he wants to fight Wilder. But if he really want that fight, he'd do everything in his power to make it happen. You wouldn't keep trying to rob people and play these little fucking games. You understand me? So, Wilder versus Fury, December 1st, LA, I believe. And they'll announce that next week as well. That'll be announced as far as they tour and stuff like that. It's going to be announced. Everything will be official. You know, they've already signed contracts and all that good stuff. But Wilder versus Fury has the potential to be a great fight. And I hope it is a great fight. And I hope that, me personally, I hope Wilder just spark Fury. Just go and get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? You know, just go and spark his ass out. Get rid of Tyson Fury early. You know what I'm saying? Get his ass up out of there. You know what I mean? And let Tyson Fury, oh, no, I wasn't ready. You know, whatever the case may be. Knock his ass smooth the fuck out ASAP. You know what I mean? And then we can move on. Maybe Tyson Fury want a rematch. Knock his ass out again. You know what I'm saying? That's a double up. You know what I'm saying? Get that paper. Then after that, go and smoke Dominic Brazil, if he's still a mandatory by that time. Because, you know, Brazil been trying to get some smoke with Dillian White to settle their little dispute about the mandatory. Dillian White don't want no smoke. Eddie Hearn don't want no smoke with... see, Eddie don't want Dillian White to fight Brazil, right? Eddie Hearn don't want Dillian White to fight Brazil. They just want to create this illusion that, oh, the WBC is screwing us over. We were supposed to be the mandatory. Well, you can fix that quite easily. Dominic Brazil asked you, listen, if you want to fight, I'm available. Let's fight. Brazil is offering you a shot at that mandatory position, right? He says you're the mandatory. You think you're the mandatory. He think he the mandatory. Brazil is offering you to fight. You don't want to fucking fight. So come on, man. Get out. I don't want to hear nothing from Eddie Hearn and Dillian White again talking about the Wilder situation, because y'all can make this fight happen easily, right? You could easily become the mandatory for Deontay Wilder by fighting Dominic Brazil, but you won't do it. Okay? So, whatever. If Brazil is still the mandatory, after Wilder get done with the Fury saga, go ahead. Wilder go ahead and beat the shit out of whoever that dude is, the mandatory. All right, and from there, we keep it rocking and rolling, keep it moving, you know what I'm saying, and we whoop everybody that's in sight. You know, that's the plan. You know what I'm saying? If AJ is available then, you know, maybe he grew some facial hair then, you know what I'm saying, his testosterone and shit and kick back in, maybe then the fight will be available. You know what I'm saying? Until then, ain't nobody checking for no Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn and listening to their garbage. You know what I mean? So we just going to let them keep talking about Wilder, let them keep building up Deontay Wilder's name. You know what I'm saying? Because this Wilder versus Fury fight going to do very well. I believe it's going to do very well. I know the fight will do over 300,000 pay-per-view buys. See, the standard in America is 300,000. If you can do 300,000 pay-per-views, then you're a pay-per-view fighter, okay? 300,000 people ordering a fight for $60, $75, that's a lot of fucking money. It's a lot of people, okay? And if you could do that, if you could generate that, then you're a pay-per-view attraction, okay? All right? It will do over that in America. Now, if we can get that shit to like 500,000, and you know what I'm saying, and really, really pushing it when you're talking about more than 500,000, if you could push it up there, then now you're talking about some stupid money. You're talking about some serious cake. You know what I mean? You're talking about some serious popularity at that point. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, man. But we're going to do our best in the LDBC to push the fight and make sure that this fight gets the attention it deserves, and make sure we promote the fight and talk about every press conference and every encounter and all of that good stuff, man, to make sure that Wilder versus Fury is a success for the WBC heavyweight crown and the lineal crown. Okay, I know people are trying to dismiss the lineal crown all of a sudden now because AJ don't have it and because Wilder about to get it. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to dismiss the lineal all of a sudden. You know what I mean? People ain't shit, man. It's just so fucking pathetic, bro. The links that people will go to, man, just to keep from taking the L. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. 78 Sports TV. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'll holler.